gonna push it. He's gonna push the button.
And we're live, baby.
We are live.
This is a YouTube.
About a half hour late. Sorry about that, folks. But it's a new-ish setup. We're still kind of figuring it out.
Yes. And
Which I should be looking there.
yeah, we gotta remember which camera's going. Well, I mean, obviously.
Here, put it on me real quick.
Oh.
I was gonna say you got a button.
I do, but I'm still not very good with it.
If you have them all enabled.
Yeah. There you go.
This podcast is brought to you by Stevie Wicks. More on them in a moment. But before we get into our Spider-Man fandom, I have an announcement for the Arte Podcast Network. Through circumstances of life, the first episode of Part of Your Broadway World had to be postponed. But I am pleased to announce their first episode has been recorded, has been posted, and will premiere tomorrow. I forget the time, but I want to say noon. I could be wrong. It's between noon and 3. I can't remember exactly what time. But if you go to their YouTube page, you can click Notify Me when the episode airs. So check that out. They're covering the musical Jagged Little Pill, which I'll be honest, I didn't know what it was, but apparently it's got a lot of Alanis Morissette music in it. So never seen it, can't vouch for it, but they very much like it. So check that out. And their audio podcast will be available on Spotify shortly thereafter and be available on artemedia.org, along with all the other great podcasts on our network. If you have any questions, inquire. So
Back to me.
back to me. So Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. He does whatever a spider can.
Gotta switch these around. This is gonna confuse me.
Yep. That's true because you are looking there.
Yeah, because honestly.
And now I can see the fine people in the chat.
There we go. All right.
So once again, though, I had a lot of fun with the thumbnail for tonight.
It was a very good one, though.
I had to make it different than the last one, though. It would have been very easy to just cop out and do the same thing, which I did essentially do the same thing.
Right.
But the focal point was different, and I threw in a couple of Easter eggs for everybody out there. Did you see Spider-Punk in there?
Mm-hmm.
Threw him in there. Did you see Bully Maguire in the bottom right corner?
I did not.
I hid him. I tried to hide him to where, like, when you see it, you'll know what it is, but it's small enough to where, like, you might not notice it at first glance. Love that shit.
You know, honestly, I know you didn't like Spider-Punk. I thought he was alright.
Well,
I'm not a fan of what he stood for, but I'm just saying,
I went into my reasons for why I don't care for Spider-Punk, and then not to tell you how to do your job, but just some advice. If we're both going back and forth, I would switch it to the wide shot. If we're going back and forth. Like, and it's very hard to do because
no, it's not. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Who's horror
gamer? Hey, I'm first here.
Yes, you are. Congratulations. You get a prize of a high five. Right in the face.
So anyway, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Are you a new subscriber?
He says, "Wow." Or she. I don't mean.
You're welcome.
All right. So what you were saying was hit the wide angle first.
So if we're
if we're going between, I got you. Like that.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is
we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Because when we have it the way we're gonna set it up, it'll be on the wide angle most of the time, and then you will just
switch when
somebody's going in depth on something. Yeah.
Sure.
Whereas, which this isn't too bad. So.
No.
Yes, new subscriber. Thank you. So.
Spider-Man, right?
I was gonna say not to get off topic, but can I ask if you subscribed because of the Spider-Man short? Or one of the Spider-Man shorts over the past couple of days. It's only been a couple of days, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been a couple.
It's been like 5 days total.
I had so much fun making those Spider-Man shorts.
Yep.
Haha. Thank you. Welcome. Well, so, since we love engaging with the people, because we do this for you, what is your favorite incarnation of Spider-Man?
Oh.
Ooh. I figured we'd talk about that, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I can answer that question. I think I know what yours is, though. I think yours is definitely the 90s animated.
Yes, in that universe. Yes.
Oh, but probably Venom.
No. Spider Carnage.
Spider Carnage. Ah, damn it, that was going to be my next guess.
Because he was straight savage.
Well, Carnage in general. Spider-Ham's your favorite?
Hey, Spider-Ham's cool.
Spider-Ham underrepresented, and I'll be honest, when I first saw Into the Spider-Verse, I didn't, well, when I saw the trailer, I should say, because when I saw the movie, I was like, okay, I like Spider-Ham a lot more than I thought I was going to, right? But when I first saw the trailer, which probably is why I didn't care for the movie upon first viewing, which I've said this before and I'll say it again. When I first saw Into the Spider-Verse, I did not like it, but I think I had a bad perception going in. Then I watched it again and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get where this is going.
There was actually a lot going on when you were during the first podcast that we were talking about Into the Spider-Verse. You I watched the entire movie, but the first half bored me to death.
And I can see why.
But honestly, it was a good story arc. I'm ADHD. It's hard for me to sit still.
Well, I knew this was going to be a two-parter because I'd read that going in. So when they were setting all this stuff for Gwen's backstory, I'm like, okay, this is going to be important for the next movie. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to think of another example of where it's going to be kind of like Avengers Infinity War. Although, did they say that was going to be a two-parter? I can't remember. And actually, that's not a fair comparison because Infinity War is almost a perfect movie. There wasn't a lot of set-up backstory in that one.
No, I don't think so.
I'll think of one. But the point is, I knew it was a two-parter going in, so... And there...
Peter B. Parker is a good one. Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of...
I really like Peter B. Parker.
I do, too, but I'm also... thanks for the hearts, guys. I'm also a big fan of Peter B. Parker because he's voiced by the very talented and underrated Jake Johnson. Is it Johnson or Johnson? I can't remember, but...
Is it? I thought he was voiced by somebody else. Is it Jake Johnson?
Yeah, Peter B. Parker is. Peter Parker, the one that died, was voiced by Chris Pine.
Funny that you mentioned Peter B. Parker. Did you know that he was actually supposed to be originally voiced by Maguire?
No, but...
They turned it down. They changed their minds at the last minute simply just because they didn't want to confuse timelines and everything like that. So when you were talking about that last time, you were right. I was wrong.
Well, I see. Well, first of all, that article was the shits. It was not.
I was talking about an article where... It
was Forbes, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was saying that Peter B. Parker is actually Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, incarnation in that movie.
And just to give you an idea of how our friendship works, I'm at the gym and he's texting me this shit, and I'm reading an article between sets, and the whole time I'm like, this is bullshit. That's bullshit. But I'm like, no, it can't be. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that's too good. I gotta figure this out. Oh, hi.
Aha.
All right, so then that's me. So now if I do this.
See, the problem is you're not picking one. You're eliminating the layers, which it would be so nice if they did it the other way.
Yeah, where I could just
select it. Yeah.
I wonder if I can do that. There has to be
probably not, because OBS, like a lot of video software, works in layers, not in selections. Which, when you're used to working with it, it's great. It's much better. But for somebody that's not used to working in that, because it's like when you first learn Photoshop, there's a whole unit over layers. It's like, well, this doesn't matter because it's covered up by this layer. That kind of shit.
Dude, layers, kind of like the Spider-Verse.
No, that's like a circle.
It's like... No, the way the spider web is, DNA and all that stuff, that's how the Spider-Verse looks like when they have that. Because, didn't it kind of look like that when they were traveling between?
It's like a web.
It's like a web. It was awesome. It was a good movie. I wasn't a big fan of the first half, but hey.
I wasn't on its surface, but I think that once we see the next part, it'll serve a purpose. Because Gwen is clearly... a very important part of this story.
what if Miles doesn't fall for Gwen? Do you think he has fallen for Gwen?
I think he's already fallen, but when he finds out that Gwen is actually Glenn, according to the online community, apparently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's like, why?
Miles, I'm the same person.
I just can't.
Oh gosh, no. And to be fair, that's we're making fun of that because it's so way off base and unsubstantiated. And the creators of the movie have been like, no, like,
yeah, like with everything going on in the, Marvel and DC and all the stuff that they're putting in there, and the movies are bombing. It's like,
dude,
I would hope these people are paying attention and just leave that alone and just make good movies.
I haven't seen The Flash yet.
I heard it was the shit.
I heard it was awful. I heard it was terrible.
I'm gonna be very
But here's
upset.
the thing. So I watched the Critical Drinkers video on it. And I'm sorry, I was expecting him to be like, it's not very often you go to the theater and see a quality cinema, especially today when everyone's concerned with the message. But he was like, The Flash is a mess. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Because honestly, The Drinker, I think there's only been one movie I disagreed with him on. And even though I disagree with him, I totally understand why he was saying what he was saying about it. I get where he was coming from. But then he gives me the synopsis of The Flash, and I'm like, guys, this is DC's problem. I figured it out. They already, see, what Marvel's doing is Marvel is just taking stories from the comics, and they're tweaking them a bit here and there. But the story is the same from the comics, ultimately. They might make a tweak here for, like, an actor's character choice or something, here and there. DC has the blueprint, because this movie's just Flashpoint. That's all it is. But they added another Flash, or Flashpoint Paradox, or Flashpoint, however you want to.
Hello.
Made me think of Book of Mormon again. Hello. My name is Elder Price. Anyway, but what DC's doing, because they did it with Justice League, they did it with Batman v Superman, they've done it with every one of their live action movies, for the most part, is they already have the story in the comics, right? And then they take that story and then they fuck it up. But I don't know how they fuck it up because they already have it in the story. And the irony is, and I actually made this comparison in my brain the other day, because both DC and Marvel are making animated movies, right? I haven't seen all the Marvel animated movies, but what I have seen is kind of at best and kind of at worst. Whereas the DC animated movies are fucking perfect. They're so good.
Yeah, the animated movies, yeah.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Why are you retracting your messages?
Well, it might not be them. Remember, YouTube did that to a couple people, and they were like, why is it taking my messages away?
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, do us a favor and tell us, are you deleting those messages, or is YouTube doing that? Because it's not us. We're not moderating this chat at all. Or if we are, it's automatic and we've done it by mistake. But yeah, the DC animated movies are, I'm trying to think of, well, Batman Under the Red Hood. Sorry, spelled it wrong. Okay.
No worries.
But have you watched that, by the way? Not to get off the topic
Under
of
the
Spider-Man.
Red Hood?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh.
That's Jensen Ackles, right?
Yes, as the Red Hood. We've gotten way off topic. There's a rumor that Jensen Ackles is going to be Batman. Now, I read this I forget the publication, but
I heard that before Pattinson did it. He was trying to get it.
No, because I remember that because we were talking about it.
With all this, what is it? Multiverse going around. You can have as many things now as you want.
And what's funny is Batman's always kind of, well, DC rather. DC, well, actually, I wonder. I think DC was the first one to actually play around with the multiverse to that scale. I'd have to go back and really look, actually, because I don't know when Madam Web was introduced in the Spider-Man comics. But that was kind of a different thing. Like, it was a multiverse, but it wasn't the same way DC's doing it. But, where's it going with that? Oh, so Jensen Ackles. So I had read that after his performance as Soldier Boy, Warner Brothers was taking a real serious look at him to be a version of Batman.
I mean, if they don't take him seriously, Like,
You know what though? Here's the sad fact.
have
Which
you got to him yet?
no, but I've seen some clips and I like what I see.
Dude.
But here's my thing, and from what I understand about Jensen Ackles is he is a guy who is very unapologetically himself.
What?
What?
What? You said Jensen Ackles is unapologetically himself?
Yeah,
I said that really weird.
unapologetically. So I don't think he's going to buy into, like, if a studio says, well, listen, Jensen, you're going to have to, toe the line on some of these social issues. And I can see him being the kind of guy who's going to be like, nah, fuck that. I'm good.
So, no, he's pretty reserved.
Reserved, though. But I mean, and this isn't important. This is just an example. Because, like, what happened to Kevin Sorbo, right? Is Jensen Ackles a Christian, or has he even said anything about that?
I think he keeps it to himself.
More than likely.
That's what should happen.
Which is honestly about the best thing you can do if you are, like, more of a conservative Christian type.
Well, I mean, no matter what you are, it's like just keep it quiet, because the thing is, it just
Nobody cares. I want to see Batman. I don't like not.
But no.
Not to be rude, I don't want to see Jensen Ackles talk about God. I want to see Jensen Ackles punch people in the face dressed as a bat.
Well. Like
or a soldier boy.
If he doesn't get something, like, it's gonna be no. Actually, what I was gonna say first was back in the day when he played on Smallville, he actually was going for he was going for Superman first. He was gonna play that, and then they found Tom Welling, an underwear model, who barely had any lines throughout the first 6 seasons. What?
Yeah.
Lex, no, Dad, Mom, Lana.
Tim Daly's still my favorite Superman.
Who's that?
The voice actor for
okay.
Superman the Animated Series and
yeah.
Justice League Unlimited, which is a surprisingly good show. But we're not going to talk about DC anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say we're here to talk
because
about
who else has had a wealth of very good animated series is Spider-Man.
I don't think I've really had a super bad one. I may not be as into it, but
there's one that Disney didn't do it. I'm trying to remember who did it. It actually
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Oh, that's not the one I'm talking. I think it's Spectacular Spider-Man. It's a really super cartoony looking one, which I know is kind of a silly thing to say, but I didn't like Spider-Man Unlimited, but I understand why it was popular, and the art style was killer. I liked it. I liked how it looked, and that was the episode I was talking about where Deadpool guest starred, which was the only full episode I've seen, and it was fucking hilarious, which it shouldn't have been.
Gotta love Deadpool.
Well, but it's like PG Deadpool, and yet it's still hilarious.
Oh, they got some good writers.
Well, yeah. I didn't like it because it was kind of like a superhero team. Like, it was Teen Titans, but Marvel. I'm very red.
You just got put on the spot.
I did. That's why I'm trying not to look at it. I'm just talking normally. But I do kind of like to look into whichever camera is active. But, well, then you have the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s, which was stellar, along with X-Men, the animated series, while you're talking about. But it's worth noting, without Batman, the animated series, we probably wouldn't have gotten either one of them.
Was Batman the animated series first?
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of, almost all of them?
I think it was, yeah.
The very first?
19 of, the superhero animated series, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Transformers was been around.
That's an anime, though. It doesn't really count. I'm talking about one that was created by American Animation, yeah. And God.
No, there was a older Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh yeah, from the 60s.
And
but
you got Superman and whatnot.
I'm okay. So let me rephrase, because you're right. You got me on that. I mean, like a dark current.
Broody.
Not even. Well, Batman was, but
yeah, Batman's broody. Peter Parker was not broody. He was.
But it definitely had more of an edge to it than the 60s Spider-Man. Well, just look at the theme song. You went from Spider-Man to
That intro, though.
Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. And then the ending, man.
Sorry, blowing
Man, kids are losing out today.
They don't know what good TV is.
Fortunately, they can find out if their parents are proactive, because you can watch Spider-Man the animated series on Disney Plus. It's on there.
I recently made a mistake. I commented on a post talking about Smosh, the YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying, "Oh, the original guys are getting back together." I was like, "Who are they?" I was like,
What?
Smosh. I was like, "Who the hell's Smosh?" I remember seeing some videos, but I never watched it. Or were they like big?
I don't think so.
I mean, apparently they have like millions of subscribers.
Well, so
I
does
mean,
there are other podcasts out there that have
We
millions of subscribers, and
are-
we suspect that something may have been done because for that.
I'm telling you what, though, like we're only 35, and
You hear that? We're
I'm seeing
only
comments-
35.
I'm seeing comments about not on our videos, but on other videos about these people saying, "Oh yeah, I grew up watching this," and it's like on YouTube, and it's at least 2012, 2013 era, and I'm just like, that's not that long ago.
Well, and unfortunately for us, because there was probably one, like, it depends on what your definition of a
Dude,
generation
we
is.
got 2 decades of literally the greatest creative era.
But because of technology now, it's all coming back. So the stuff that
Yes.
we couldn't see it. And then I remember when they started releasing TV shows on DVD, and yes, we're that old. The first series I ever bought on DVD was season 1 of Third Rock from the Sun.
That's a good show.
Carsey Warner's and Anchor Entertainment kind of paved the way for that. That was a huge gamble. I think they were the first television studio to do it, actually. DVD is hard to say. It is, especially when you got DBZ in the membrane. I watched Dragon Ball Super Broly again last night.
The animation on
Dude,
that
I watched
is
it on
so
my
good.
big ass TV that's way too big for my room.
That's way too close to your couch.
I know, I love it. Dude,
He literally has to turn his head just to see something.
yeah, it's like, oh, there's something happening over
What
there.
is that, 75? It's bigger than 65.
Oh no, it is. It's not quite 80. So yeah, I think it is a 75.
All right. Well,
Meanwhile, the room's probably like 10 by 10.
I know. The old shotgun house.
Yep. But anyways, yeah, because of technology. So what I was saying about releasing on DVD, that was a massive gamble because at the time, and actually it was Carsey Warner and Anchor Entertainment put all those shows out. You know, you had your Third Rock from the Sun, that 70s show, and I think that 70s show was the first one to get really popular because people.
They did that 70 show too.
Carsey Warner did,
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Carsey Warner's a powerhouse. Let's see, what did they do? They did Third Rock from the Sun, that 70s show, Grounded for Life. They did another one that was a big hit, and I just, for some reason, cannot remember for the life of me what it is.
Harry Potter.
My mother watches Harry Potter.
Oh, I thought you read it.
Oh, no.
I love Harry Potter.
Dude, the movies are great.
Yeah.
And, the books are good, too. But, I mean, the movies took it to a whole new
I'm
level.
loving all these YouTube shorts, and I don't get on TikTok, but TikTok, I'm pretty sure I've seen other videos. But
People
when
put
they're doing
TikToks on.
That stuff is hilarious.
I'm not going to lie. Every time I give because I buy my dog, like, the rolled up rawhide chewies. Every time I do.
The boy who lived.
I did a whole monologue once where I did the whole thing. I'm like, I can touch you now.
Got your nose.
I have some of the best conversations ever with my dog.
Is it?
She doesn't know what the fuck I'm saying, but
But
she doesn't know what the heck. I swore again.
TikTok it's all right, but it's whatever your algorithm, you build your algorithm.
Here's the thing about TikTok. TikTok has its place. And here's the beautiful thing about TikTok is, like you said, you literally control your own algorithm. You have to be very careful when you first sign up, though, because it will curate based on what you watch. So if there's something that you're not interested in, don't linger. Just it'll very quickly curate a feed.
You have to let it linger.
But no, TikTok definitely has its place, especially if you're a content creator, because like it or not, a lot of people watch TikTok.
All right,
So
I think I have it figured out. Because there we go. And then there we go, back to you. And then I click me.
huh.
And then I have to shut me off. And then go back there.
Well, hey, that's the beauty, because
Does that
you
work?
said, yeah,
All right.
you don't like TikTok. That's the beauty of it. Don't use it. You have tons of options. Personally, I'm a YouTube guy.
I love you.
But I have noticed I like the variety that TikTok gives me, whereas YouTube Shorts seem to be very much curated.
I've been getting a lot of like how to make money YouTube Shorts. And
Yeah,
I
but what do
was
you
like,
search on YouTube though?
How to make money.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think YouTube Shorts are heavily curated, and Instagram's a little bit more random, but I find that if I'm ever, which I don't scroll on Instagram Reels very often. I find a lot of prank videos, and I just don't enjoy those because 95% of them are fake.
Yeah. Did you know I'm an author now?
I did.
I made a planner, a yearly planner, or daily planner. But you know the funny thing is,
A daily planet.
I screwed
Oh,
it
that's
up.
wrong.
I screwed it up already. I put the wrong template. It hasn't been approved yet, and I'm waiting for them to deny it so I can fix it. But I had the wrong template. It literally has month, year, and then all the days in the month underneath it on each page. I did 365.
Oh no.
Because for some reason,
So what do you have?
It said month. I thought it said day. I don't know what was going on. I was trying to finish it up. I was tired.
So did you make a 365 month planner?
Dude, I was like, I would never make any more money. I would sell once and just be done. Like, I don't need to ever buy another planner ever again.
I've got 365 months.
But it's like
Somebody
somebody
do quick math and tell us how many years that is.
365.
365 months. So you'd have to divide it by 12. I just don't want to do the math in my head because I'll be wrong.
Well, you divide it by 10.
No, 12. There's 12 months in a
I know,
year.
but you divide it by 10. That's the easiest thing. What, 365? So 36.5.
I'm going to go with the 21st century solution.
And then, let's say,
30.4. So almost 30 and a half year planner.
Hey, listen, that's an average mortgage nowadays.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
I'm just saying, buy my planner. It's only $14.99.
What's our thought on the Indian Spider? We love the Indian Spider-Man. We talked about it. So actually, after this one, it was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about specifically Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, he was our absolute favorite.
We love the Indian Spider-Man. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, they need to.
It's
a solo movie with him. I would watch.
100. He has a solo comic run. Actually, I think he has a couple. But it actually seems really interesting. So Indian Spider-Man, and I apologize. I would pronounce his name properly, but I'm going to mess it up. It's a Hindi play on Peter Parker.
Oh.
Yeah, because like his last name is Piet or
let me Jamie it real quick.
Yeah. But anyway, so what's interesting about him is he gets his powers from his powers are magic. He gets them from a shaman.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Does he make his own webs?
I believe it's magic. Do you believe in magic? He certainly does. He saw a shaman.
I'm not seeing any.
It should say his name up at the very top.
No, I want to see powers.
He has the powers of
Oh,
spider.
yeah, I forgot we were looking up his name.
He does whatever a spider can.
Uncle Bim.
Uncle Bim, yeah.
That's funny. Oh.
Indian Spider-Man.
Here, I'm just going to do this.
Paviter Prabhakar.
How do you pronounce that? Someone said, how do you pronounce it?
Oh, here we go.
You know what?
So the pronunciation of his name is as Pavitra. His name, looking at how to say, more confusing.
Paviter
Looking at how to pronounce these.
Prabhakar.
Looking at how to say, more confusing names, pronunciations, including from
Paviter
Prabhakar.
That guy is.
Get to
not
the
trying
point.
To help. Holy cow. Chai tea?
Chai tea. Chai means tea. That's like saying DD.
Oh, I forgot about that part. That was good.
Which is funny because that's actually one of my, because I know that I don't drink chai, but okay, mild segue. So that actually made me start thinking about something though. So technically speaking, he's correct. Chai just means tea in Hindi, but it is a certain kind of tea. And tea is an umbrella term because there's several different kinds of tea. So is it actually incorrect to say chai tea? I think technically you would say chai, but I don't think chai tea is technically incorrect because it is tea that is a certain kind of tea.
I wonder if it's like what do you, I know we call it something in the English language, but then other languages they have different dialects, and it's like lazy speak. What do you call that?
I mean, like colloquialism, maybe. But it's just normal everyday speech. Well, like another good example of this would be, actually no, that's not a good example. I'm trying to think of an American food that is just ubiquitous here.
Part?
That is a great part. Can't think of one because America is such a melting pot of cultures, so we don't really have. I wouldn't say we have anything that's kind of like exclusively American.
Mannequin.
You know what? This is a really bad example, but it's the closest thing I can think of. Soda and pop.
What do you call it?
No, some people call it soda pop. Soda pop? Soda is pop. That's like saying pop pop.
Did you notice he uses yo-yos as spider webs?
Yes. Now, I think he uses them in addition to his webbing, but I'm not sure. But he does yo-yo, which is really cool.
There was so much going on in this movie that I think that's like.
Well,
it was honestly like a little too much for me.
Well, and
awesome.
I'm going to admit to one thing. So, on that short of ours that kind of went semi-viral, people pointed out. Now, I do want to clarify one thing I said. I'm not saying that Miguel lied about the universe getting erased.
No, you were just making a.
But I think people misunderstood me, so I want to clarify two things at once. I certainly wasn't saying Miguel lied about that because they're right. Peter B. Parker, at the very least, was there because you see him in the shot. However, I didn't remember that when we were talking about it. But sure enough, he is there. But that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about Miguel not telling the whole truth about the nature of all this is what I'm getting at.
You would think Peter B. Parker would have told Miles with what they went through and the bond they shared.
I think he was told not to because Miles wasn't even supposed to be there. But here again, so this is my theory because I said this already, but I'm going to clarify. So I think that you can cause a universe to get erased by meddling with the timeline too much. So I think Miguel...
Well, it's not erased. It's more unraveling.
True,
Sorry.
So I think Miguel really messed with that timeline because he killed the Miguel O'Hara in that timeline. I think that's why it all unraveled because I think there was probably something...
Because he found him dead.
Well, here's the other thing. So I also didn't know about this. I didn't watch the post-credit sequence, which, shame on me. I know, Marvel movie, right?
We didn't see it?
No,
Did we watch it?
No, we did. I'm talking about the first one, Into the Spider-Verse. There's a post-credit scene with Miguel O'Hara. Here's my conspiracy theory. I don't think that's the same Miguel. He has a totally different build. Now, okay, so it's kind of the Spider-Man meme.
I can't even get in your shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So here's my conspiracy theory. I think the Miguel, that I'll just call him Jacked Miguel, because he's noticeably bigger in the next movie, and his like, what do you call the not the claws, but like his blade things on his arms are bigger too. Yeah. So the end credit scene from Into the Spider-Verse. That Miguel O'Hara, I believe, went to the universe where the Miguel that we know lived, and his life went to absolute crap. Because, like he said, his family's gone in that one. So then he meets this other Miguel and learns about traveling between universes. So I think he killed him, took his wristwatch thingamajig, and then went back to that one's universe.
Wasn't Miguel like a engineer?
Yes.
Okay, and who's the do we know from the movie? I can't remember. Do we know who created that machine?
It's implied that Miguel did.
Okay.
But which Miguel?
Yeah.
And he made duplicates after the fact, but I think he got because Miguel. both of those Miguels would have been engineers, so he would have been able to understand it. Yeah, they made multiple watches for the Spider Society. But yeah, that's my theory. I think that's what we're going to find out happen. And I think it's going to be because, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I think I'm right. And one thing I've learned from this podcast is that when I have a theory, I'm usually right, and I need to say it.
All right, I've got a theory. It's not really a theory, but it's like, why is Miles glitching? If you think about it, he was bit by the spider from the universe that he went to, so therefore it changed his DNA, and it should have basically melded his DNA with the DNA of the spider from that universe. So wouldn't you think that he'd be able to go back and forth between universes and not have any consequences?
Theoretically, only those two.
Just those two. Yeah.
Well,
I don't mean any other ones. I mean just between those two, because remember he glitched.
Well, okay, so the glitching itself doesn't have anything
That's
to
what
do.
gave it away.
Well, the glitching in and of itself doesn't have anything to do with their DNA. He was sent to that universe because the spider DNA that was in
Right,
which
because they got the wrong marker.
Yeah.
So they sent him to the wrong address.
Right, the wrong address. But I think the glitching has to do with the universe knowing. And I say universe is like I don't really know what it would be considered, but the universe knows that Miles doesn't belong there. And what's interesting is people were talking about, well, if that's the case, then why didn't in Spider-Man No Way Home, why didn't Tobey and Andrew glitch? And actually, the answer I found makes a lot of sense. It's because they were brought there by magic, whereas all these other people did it
being brought by
technology. Yep,
because magic
is a more natural force.
Yes,
It's a more natural force in the universe,
Hmm.
which makes perfect sense to me.
That's good. I like that.
Now, maybe the magic would break down too. It just might happen faster with the technology. But even in the first movie, I forgot they were glitching in the first movie, but they were brought over by the collider. See,
I need to go back and
these
watch
people are
this.
brilliant. I know. I want to go back. I want to watch
There's-
both of
there's
them.
So much information.
They've clearly got the story mapped out, and I love it when film franchises do this, and they don't have to go back and retcon stuff because they've already planned it out. They know where they're going. They've planted seeds because, like, the whole theme of the first movie was Miles Morales feeling like I can't be Spider-Man, and the audience. This is what I was kind of touching on in the last Spider-Man episode, which you should definitely go check out if you haven't already. Miles and the audience are all, and this is why it was so brilliant. The audience is like, but Miles isn't Peter Parker. Miles isn't Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Now, super comic book nerds know about like the Miguel O'Haras and the Gwen Stacy's.
Are
And,
you talking about our other short-ish kind of in a way?
well, the whole podcast I mentioned.
Well, I was gonna say someone did kind of correct us on that too, because where I assume they corrected me because I said, remember in the movie that someone said, "Hey, are you Peter?" You know, and everybody's here. No, what they actually said was, you're Spider-Man and everybody's Spider-Man." So
That's right.
I misspoke.
Well, but even that's not entirely accurate. But I mean,
Exactly, because not everybody is Spider-Man. You have Scarlet Spider. You have
Spider-Ham.
You have Spider-Ham. You
have Spider. Is it Spider Noir or Noir Spider? There's a lot of.
I think it's Noir Spider.
I think you're right, but regardless, you understand. And I don't think this is their actual name, but it should be Spider-Chan.
Went really well.
Penny Parker. I think she should be officially canonized as Spider-Chan.
I like it.
Yeah. But where was I going with this? So Miles and the audience are all thinking the whole time, it's like, but Miles can't be Spider-Man. Miles can't be. And I'm talking about a general audience because, like I said, nerdy people, because like I know who Miles Morales is, and hardcore Spider-Man fans will, but the average theater goer is expecting Peter Parker. And he's there, but they really threw us for a loop in that one when Peter Parker dies. And then they introduce Peter B. Parker and all the...
Blonde Parker.
Yeah, and then all the hardcore Spider-Man fans, when they see Peter B. Parker, are like, okay... Okay, ooh. All right, there's another Spider-Man. But the whole movie is about, it's a combination of people telling Miles that he isn't Spider-Man, or this actually, the first one's more everybody telling him this is how you be Spider-Man. And the whole point of the first movie is Miles being like, and this is so funny because what annoyed me about Miles in the first movie was how he had these different powers. Like how he could turn invisible and shock people. And I'm like, you're Mary Sueing him. I didn't get what they were doing. What they're doing is
Who's Penny?
Spider-Chan, Penny
Oh,
Parker.
Sorry.
What I didn't get what they were doing was Miles has different powers because Miles is a different Spider-Man. And he can't follow the same formula that Peter Parker. He can be guided by Peter Parker. He can be guided by Spider-Gwen, but he's not the same person. And the end of the movie is him recognizing that, owning it, understanding that, like, yeah, I have a lot to learn, but I've got to do this my way. And then you have that, which may be the best shot in cinema history, and I'm not being hyperbolic, the shot where he's upside down, but they flip it so he's right side up.
Mm.
And then What's Up Danger's playing, and it's just, chef's kiss of a shot.
Well, they did. You're talking about Into the Spider-Verse?
Into the Spider-Verse, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Across the Spider-Verse, they did a similar shot with Gwen and Miles.
Yep.
That was really cool, too. That was, like, really cool.
But now, what more people are saying in the second movie is that you're not Spider-Man, or at the very least, you don't belong. Even his friends are like, Miles, you're not supposed to be here. And then that moment when he's like, yeah, but I lured away a bunch of your spider people from your little headquarters, and then Miguel realizes what has happened. So cool.
Accident that created the spot.
Yes.
What was that?
That was from the first movie.
Okay, so was he already Spider-Man then?
Yes.
So then, there's I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's like, because it's weird how time travel works, or however the dimensions he goes to, but in the movie, apparently Spot said that he brought the spider to the universe that actually bit Miles.
Yes, I think he did that before he was the Spot, though, if I'm remembering correctly. He did it using the collider.
Oh.
It was one of the experiments. I think. I could
That
be
makes
wrong.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We've been asked, have any of you seen the It's Just a Cannon?
Oh my god.
Oh!
They're everywhere.
I love most of them.
Oh yeah.
Most of them are good. What I love is that some people are like integrating it into their cultures, because I saw one where this Asian girl was like looking over to see an Asian girl's mom giving her a bob cut with bangs, and she's like, but I can't interfere because it's a canon event.
You know, the funniest thing is, like, we have dealt with the word canon for the better of 2 decades now, with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT and all that stuff. So it's like, when we're seeing these, we're like, oh, first time?
Well, but what's funny about canon is multiverse theory has really done away with the concept of
canon away.
Well, it doesn't, but there are multiple canons because there are multiple universes. So, and I kind of made this point. It's funny how we're tying this into the other podcast we did, because we were talking about Scarlet Spider and how in his mind we were talking about how right. We were talking about how in Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly's mind, he's Peter Parker, but he doesn't know. But to the general audience, that doesn't matter because we know in this universe, Peter Parker is the original.
Ben Reilly, it's not that he doesn't think he's not Peter. He suffered amnesia.
Right.
Yeah,
So
why
yeah,
he was,
incomplete picture.
But still, though, like, he is Peter Parker, but he's not sure, so he just goes by a different name because his hair, blonde hair. Should work.
But yeah, and it's funny because you talked about Dragon Ball, which Dragon Ball's done away with the concept of canon now when they did, which is a promotional anime, but it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's nothing but
Dragon
fan
Ball
service.
Heroes. Sorry.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Heroes. You're
I
right.
don't think it has super. In
It doesn't.
Okay. But it is super.
At least I don't think. Does it? Is
Dragon
it?
Ball Superhero?
I think it is Dragon Ball Superhero. No, that's the
it's
movie.
Dragon Ball Heroes.
That's the movie. Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball
Super.
Superhero, or
Dragon Ball Super
Superhero.
Hero.
And I'm like, why are you saying it twice? That's like when
You know,
when
Japanese.
they introduced Saiyan, Super Saiyan God. I'm like, why don't you just call the first one Saiyan God and the second one
Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, Super Saiyan God.
Well, and
Makes
that
more sense.
it's a quirk of Japanese titles that you see a lot.
I
They're
know, but-
they're usually quite long. I've noticed. Super Saiyajin Goto, Super Saiyajin
100. Yeah.
100. But yeah, so thankfully, English Americans and people who speak English are generally lazy, so we're just like, we'll just call it Super Saiyan Blue, which actually they call it Super Saiyan Blue in the anime.
I'm so
but-
glad they didn't stick with Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I was like, man.
I'm glad they introduced it that way though, because it makes you understand what it actually is.
True.
It's
And
going
instead
Super
of,
Saiyan.
Like, what everybody's tried to say online that like hated it. They're like, oh, they just changed the color of the hair. I was like, there's a purpose for the color.
Yeah, because they're going Super Saiyan as a Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, so they're using God Key to further their own transformations. So it's like,
Which, when you think about what they've done, that makes Goku and Vegeta so much more impressive, because it's like they figured out a way to go Super Saiyan with a completely different kind of ki.
hey, at least Vegeta finally beat Goku.
Yeah, he did.
I finally beat Kakarot. Ah. Goku's just laying there like, yeah, I still got more in the tank, but I'll let him have this one.
I'll let him have it. You gotta throw him a bone once in a while.
You know, back to Spider-Man though. This isn't Spider-Verse talk, but the first Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. Out of all the three, I was watching this video and I agreed with it. Certain feats in
Their math, I know what you're talking about. Their math's way off.
Is it? Well, they said that they stated that Tom Holland was the strongest one.
No, I've seen
Tobey Maguire.
Yes, and here's why. So the example they said. Now, don't get me wrong. Tom Holland is strong. There's so many factors
I
though.
feel like Andrew Garfield's the strongest because like he was not like tested.
Well, so we don't know. That's a fair point. Now, Tom Holland's what the event I would have gone with was him lifting a literal concrete building off of himself dead weight.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, and then on top of that massive cruise line or the ferry.
But here's the problem with that. So
Yeah,
first of all,
when was Iron Man holding it? Like,
well, not only that. So first of all, it's on water, so it has buoyancy. Now, it's not to say it's not heavy.
It's splitting apart. Not that he's keeping it up, but it's splitting apart. And he was
I know, but here's my point. Even though it's splitting apart, when something is even when something is on top of water, it takes away huge amounts of weight. And him pulling it together, if it was on land, I'd see that.
Yeah.
It's on water, man.
Favorite animal, Spider-Man? Give it up to Spider-Ham.
Yeah, I got
Well,
Man Spider.
Man, you know, when are we gonna get that? When are we gonna get Man Spider? Remember that?
Yeah,
That
oh
was
no,
on the
I,
'94 series.
I remember
and
that.
was really like cool. Like,
we kind of, it wasn't Man Spider, just to be clear, but we got a 6-armed Spider-Man, but I think 4 were mechanical. When Miles was hiding on his back,
yeah.
but that was
no,
more.
actually, you mentioned it.
Oh no, they
You
did
said
show
it.
it.
Was a 6-arm guy.
Yeah, we saw where he actually had the 6
But
arms.
it was just Spider-Man with 6 arms. Dude,
Right.
I had that toy.
I know you
when we
did.
were kids,
And then
it
I
was
had
so awesome.
I had the metal. Was it metal? Yeah, metal Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, he kind of looked like RoboCop.
Yeah, a little bit. I had that one, and then we had that badass Carnage thing with the retractable hook on the
Dude.
string.
I'm so mad I lost that. That was like the best one ever. Or did I trade it to you?
You traded it to me.
Okay.
I was gonna say I had it for the longest time.
Dick.
Wasn't you traded it?
You know what I traded?
It
You know what I traded for that?
was a Venom thing, wasn't it?
Dude, the Venom was 6 times the size of that Carnage.
Yeah, I
It
remember.
was huge, but it was sick. Even had the tongue sticking out. But then I saw the Carnage, and I was like, dude, Carnage is my favorite. I gotta get him.
I mean, I gotta give it up to Venom, because Venom. Well, going back to Spider-Man the animated series, do you remember?
Spider is crazy cool.
Man Spider is crazy cool, but do you remember the Venom arc when it first aired? It was all we talked about for weeks. And like I remember they used to make us write in these journals in elementary school, and I was like, I'm really excited for Saturday because I get to see Venom. And I'm sure our teachers are reading this like, what the hell is Venom?
Dude, like when Spider, I was gonna say this earlier, but the '94 series when he has the black suit on for the first time and he's fighting Shocker.
Ooh.
Shocker! Shocker! Like he's just like screaming it, and it's so goofy. But I mean, as a kid, we're like, yeah, get Shocker. But then you know he realized he was actually gonna hurt him, and he's like, whoa, man, this isn't you.
And then some years later we get, gosh, that's almost about 20 years later we get Bully Maguire, and love it.
Well, hold on. I forgot about this thing.
You gonna cry?
Man. You know how Eddie Brock felt when he got fired in the 3rd movie?
How? What is that? There's that meme too. See ya, chump.
Wrong.
was true. I forgot about these.
Oh, I had so much fun editing those shorts with J. Jonah Jameson in them.
J. Jonah Jameson. It like I've said this before, and I know you agree.
What was that scream? We've got a soundboard. Actually, I wonder how clear does that come through on their end? Hold on, I'm gonna.
If that's very loud, let us know.
I'm gonna hit it. Hit it.
Is it really that delayed?
No, it's looping on me for some reason.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna open it back up. No, it's looping on me for some reason. Okay. Here, I'm gonna open it back up. No, it's looping on me for some reason. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna open it back up.
Okay, good. So it's not like stupid loud.
No, it's looping on me for some reason. It keeps looping.
The Canon loop.
This is some Twilight Zone stuff.
Let me see if I can.
This is some. I don't know. YouTube's being weird. I'm just closing out YouTube. And...
True international pressure.
International pressure.
Oh, okay. Here we go. You ready? Now it's louder. Apparently it wasn't turned all the way up.
I don't know why it keeps looping for me. That's so weird.
He said the Canon loop. I'm just wondering if
It's not looping for you, is it?
well, you wouldn't get that question if it is.
Yeah, well, that's a... Actually, if
It's a bit faint.
it's a bit faint, but the podcast itself isn't looping for you.
No, it's not.
Okay, I don't know why it's doing it on my phone, but that's weird, so whatever.
Oh, now it's...
Children and I suffer the pressure. I'm gonna come.
The things we're entertained by.
Oh my gosh. So...
But yeah, J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson. Easy killer.
The unsung J.K. Simmons, the unsung hero of the Spider-Man film franchise.
Yes. Yes, he is. And you know why?
Why?
Because he's a boss.
He is a boss. Alex Jones wannabe.
Yeah.
In No Way Home.
In No Way Home. Yeah, that was definitely reminiscent of
Oh, it was a blatant ripoff.
old gay frogs. The song alone is amazing. Turn up fucking frogs. Just the way it goes. I'm like,
I know.
Had the time to sit down and edit that. They deserve it.
The talent on the internet never ceases to amaze me on a daily basis.
I know. I tried to make a somewhat funny short about the submarine, and it didn't go anywhere. J. Jonah Jameson and peanut butter. Jameson, the drink.
Oh, gosh.
J. Jonah Jameson and peanut butter. Wait a minute.
Or is that a video we should watch?
Is it like an AI video where he's eating peanut butter? Because that Will Smith one of him eating spaghetti is just downright alarming, but very funny.
I have not seen that one.
It's gross.
But it's when I find something like that, it's because there are some days where I'm like, man, maybe the world would be better without the internet, and then I see stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh, I love the internet so much.
The internet gave us all this Spider-Man together, because you got to think,
it's a canon event.
It's a canon event for us humans. But no, like, think about that. If we didn't have the internet to like bitch and moan and share
to come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
But if we didn't have it, who knows what kind of friggin' media we would have.
We'd still have legacy media, which is funny because that's what they're poking fun of in Spider-Man: No Way Home. The whole reason J. Jonah Jameson was able to succeed in that universe is because he was fringe media, and he was struggling until he got latched onto Spider-Man and got that inside scoop. But I mean, if you think about viewership potential of the internet, like, why would you even consider going into legacy media anymore? Like, you can reach more people on YouTube if you have the right content. You'll reach millions more people on YouTube.
Tim Pool was talking about that. What was it, Tim Pool or
Well,
somebody very popular?
just
on
look
YouTube.
at look at Tucker Carlson.
Well, on Twitter, and
Already.
you know what's funny is, okay, let me finish the Tim Pool thing. He was saying that he had like a video or something or a live that literally got as many viewers as CNN.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, I saw that.
and he was basically saying, this and that. But what was the other you mentioned before? Who was it? Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson on Twitter. Apparently, he signed a no compete,
Mhm.
and Fox is trying to tell him to cease and desist.
They fired him.
Exactly. So they killed the contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
Well, and here's the thing about non-competes for those of you out there.
we'll try not to get too.
They're really hard to enforce.
All right.
Especially like in the event of him being fired, even if he had signed an
Wouldn't that technically be?
you
know,
can't
S
work.
word?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
But
Nope.
you know what's not the S word? Or actually, you know what else is the S word?
Candles.
I about messed that up. Stevie Wicks, Cool Beans Candle Company. Definitely not that S word. This is a different S word. And it stands for Them Smells Good. This is part of the Americana collection, the 4th of July, that is available now at steviewicks.com. Use promo code USA to get 10% off your order. Celebrate the 4th and smell good. Actually, this could get rid of some of that fireworks smell.
But we love blowing things.
I was going to say, why would we want to get rid of that?
I know. God bless fireworks.
And as you notice, this candle is Spider-Man color, so you can do with that information as you see fit.
It's hot in here. But I'm going to. Do you think Spot is the real bad guy in the new Spider-Man movie? No.
I almost view the Spot as a natural occurrence.
I feel like the Spot is, at first, he was comic relief.
Yeah, pretty much. But
But then when he got serious, like he was actually really freaking cool.
well,
and
the
intimidating.
Spot, and yeah, that turned on a dime once you realize what kind of power is. But I always said I think the Spot is an obstacle, but I think the antagonist is Miguel.
I mean,
Certainly in the next movie, Miguel will be the main antagonist because you're about to see a Spider War, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, only so many are on.
Now, here's a thought. Do you think Gwen Stacy is going to die in the next movie?
Dude.
Do you think Miguel
kills her.
That's what I'm thinking. I think Miguel
Because,
might kill Gwen.
Listen,
because
how many people have you bitched on the thing about canon and canon and canon and canon and canon? And Miles is not technically supposed to be Spider. He's the only one. He's the anomaly. So therefore, canon events shouldn't really apply to him.
well, and then we go into that too. Miles has already had his canon event. He lost his uncle.
So.
Well, and keep in mind,
we'll see.
like that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that's gonna be heavy.
If
But
he
it would
dies.
make that's one of those things where it's like, I hope it doesn't happen from because I like the character, but boy, if it does, that's gonna make a great
It is
movie.
gonna happen. You know
Yeah.
why? Because she went back and reconnected with her father.
Yep.
So therefore, she's getting to say goodbye.
The writing's on the wall there.
Oh,
That's gonna be so
I
good.
hope I'm not right.
I hope I am from just a storytelling perspective,
I
but
don't want
man,
her to die. I like her character.
that's what I'm saying. But that's why it'll mean more.
That was like in freaking The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I was like, why did you kill her off?
Well, that was a canon event.
I know, but I'm saying, it's like, y'all don't have to follow these. You can make good movies and not follow things. Like,
Well,
if you
actually,
make a
you know
certain
what?
way, you're gonna.
Well, actually, you know what? And that makes the whole canon event thing really interesting because that's an integral part of Spider-Man is loss. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a police captain or it doesn't have to necessarily be an uncle, which technically, talking about Indian Spider-Man because they messed up his canon event, he already had his uncle died. He doesn't need to lose. I guess there's multiple
in the
canon
movie,
events.
I don't know how the heck I missed this, but
Because everything was going 100 miles an hour.
What did Miles do in Indian Spider-Man's universe to almost cause an incursion?
So
that?
yeah, so it was when the bridge was collapsing, and
Oh, there was someone supposed to die, and he saved
the police captain, yeah, and Miles saved them so that Indians. I gotta learn his name. Pavitar,
Pavitar.
Pavitar, yeah, could save the bus, but he couldn't do both, and that's the epitome of Spider-Man because almost every version has a moment where, or some variation of a moment where Spider-Man has to choose.
Big dog. Tobey Maguire had one of those.
Yeah, which is actually supposed to
He
be,
saved them both.
which was actually supposed to be Gwen Stacy, and Gwen Stacy was supposed to die.
In the
That's
first
that's
one?
that's the comic book events.
Oh, okay. So not and see, going with canon, the first Spider-Man movie followed. Like,
Well, it's funny.
a little bit of canon.
It followed. Yeah, I know what it is, but I can't pronounce it. Pavitar. So Pav. Oh, Gwen calls him Pav.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Pav.
Yeah, we'll just call him Pav.
Thank you for that. So the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is mostly actually the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book run. That's the iteration where Peter's in high school and Mary Jane lives next door to him. So she's the girl next door. That's mostly Ultimate Spider-Man comics, if I'm remembering correctly. If I'm not, you'll correct me.
And I'm seeing a lot of new iterations, and it's literally just teenage Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man is usually a teenager, at least at the beginning, but he doesn't even meet Gwen technically until he doesn't meet Gwen until college.
Who's Hobby Brown?
Oh, that's Spider-Punk.
Oh.
That punk. I did not like
forgot his
Spider-Punk at all, but that's because they made him a communist.
Yeah, that was. I liked his character and his personality, but you know, I don't have to agree with someone to like him.
Well, I don't dislike him because he's a communist. I dislike him because communists are usually cowards under the guise of
What did he do when the going got tough?
nothing. He
got
ran.
going.
That's what I'm saying though, because he's a coward, but he doesn't act like he's a coward.
But the thing is, though, I mean, when he wanted to be badass, he was pretty badass.
How though? Name me one badass thing he did.
They were battling. He rescued somebody.
Okay.
I can't remember who.
Okay, valid. He rescued somebody. So I guess he's not a complete useless communist, but
Well, you have to pull yourself up.
But I asked the question in the first podcast, so I'll ask it again. Given his, I'm not even going to say political beliefs, given his sociological beliefs, would he go out of his way, put himself in danger to save a billionaire? I don't think so.
Oh no, because of I agree.
And that's a problem. That's a problem inherently with that ideology, especially when it's a superhero. And I believe it was Superman who said something to the effect of one time where it's like, it doesn't matter who it is, you save them. Maybe it was Spider-Man. Now that I'm thinking.
I can't remember.
Spooderman. Who's Spooderman?
I'm assuming it's a spoof character.
Probably. Let's see.
Spiderman. I mean, I guess I can look it up real quick.
Oh, yes, I have. Oh, this Spooderman's hilarious.
Spoon Man.
It shouldn't be.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, it's so funny.
Spooderman movie trailer. Okay.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Following your flag.
I didn't know it was called Spooderman, but yes, I've seen it and it's funny. And it's one of those things where you're laughing but you kind of feel bad about it.
I just hear all I hear is Spoon Man. Spoon Man.
Man.
Spoon.
What are some other well, so you got the Tobey Maguire movies.
What, like movies? Or how about TV shows? Did you ever see the it was an older show on Sci-Fi back in the 80s and 90s. It was live action and it was terrible.
Was that the 1970s Spider-Man?
It was like 80s or something like that. But the thing is, he wore this metal Spider-Man suit in the show live action in the 80s.
Wait, was this this wasn't an English dub of the Japanese Spider-Man, was it?
I don't know.
Which that show is whew. That shows a whole other.
I think it was The Amazing Spider-Man.
I feel like that's the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's older.
No, I believe 70s actually. I misspoke.
Maybe it was the 70s. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. But state-of-the-art technology for television at the time.
What was that iteration of Spider-Man? with
I'm
that
trying to
suit?
remember. I'm not sure. But if you see down below, I believe there's a shot from the Japanese Spider-Man series where he's fighting the...
I saw it, dude. That was the first thing I saw. This one right here.
We saw that version in the animated... Oh, no. Well, we saw a version of it in the animated series, but...
Yeah, it's something like that.
Oh, that's not... There was never a version where Tony Stark
Yes.
was Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's just armored Spider-Man.
Okay.
I just want to see if I could find it. I swear he was wearing the suit one time, and I don't know if it was the 80s or...
Hold on, I got a thought for you.
What?
Do you think they could do... Today, do you think they could do a live-action Spider-Man series in the vein of, like, you know, Arrow and all that?
Andrew Garfield?
What about Andrew Garfield?
I don't know. It says Andrew Garfield.
Oh, I'm
Sorry,
asking.
I had to turn...
I'm asking the viewer. But what do you think about that?
Okay, say that one more time.
Do you think today, in 2023 or 2024, they
We
could
have a live-action
Spider-Man
Spider-
series that would be good?
It would have to be very good because...
You would have to do perfect casting, but man, I'm telling you, with
Yeah,
I think they could do it. I definitely think they could do it, and I think it could be really good.
You know, I've noticed this a lot with any franchise when they have...
Oh, we're getting. I was actually about ready to bring up Andrew Garfield because I still maintain, like, it's really hard to say for me what my favorite version of Spider-Man is, but man, I'm telling you, when the first Amazing Spider-Man came out, that movie is damn near perfect. Like, it got all the origin right for the... Like, there's little tidbits. Like, I know he and Gwen... there are versions where they went to high school together. But if you're talking, like, Master Canon, which is stupid because nobody's talking about it. Uncle Ben's death in that movie was way better. The music during that scene. And then, actually, there's this really cool moment. I can't do it justice. But if you watch the movie, pay attention to it. When he's confronting the guys trying to look for Uncle Ben's killer. And he... is the group of one, and it's almost silent. And it is silent for all intents and purposes because there is music there, but you can't hear it. And then there's just that brief pause, and then it just, like, goes into really heavy drums. It's like, you know, and then it starts the chase. I'm in the theater, and I'm just like, oh.
What about in the first... I know you're talking about the first Amazing Spider-Man, but...
Yeah, we don't talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, they really screwed up with his eyes.
They really
Should've
screwed
made him
up.
gold. They should have kept him black. Dude,
Well,
he looked so sick
they
when they were black.
They really screwed up with the whole movie, but
I know, but anyway, so he had the black eyes, but when he's fighting that one guy, he's like, and he pulls out a knife, he's like, oh no, my weakness, small knives.
well, and again,
and
so
then when he does that little side eye, like he just, you've talked about this on other podcasts before. Andrew Garfield, his body language is amazing.
Andrew. Well, and here's the funny thing. So Andrew Garfield is trained, and so is Tom Holland. And this is important because Tom Holland, I don't think Tom Holland got a chance to shine as much because they did the CG eyes for him. They're both trained dancers, which means they can isolate. They're trained to isolate parts of their body. So, like, if they're, and I would like,
we'll get to that.
Oh, we're getting there.
Our favorite messed up Spider-Man story.
But I'm not sure about Tom Holland, but I know that I'm sorry, I'm not sure that about Andrew Garfield, but I know that Tom Holland is trained in like he can do ballet, and in order to do that well, you have to be able to, like, point one toe a certain way and differentiate it from all your other toes and shit. Like, you have to be able to have massive body isolation. I assume Andrew Garfield is the same because I know he's done stage musicals and the like. The fucker can sing too. So he's got that ability to use his body to tell a story, and he does it to perfection in that because that's really hard to do. And it's really hard because you can do a head, as we know from horror movies, a head tilt with a mask on can be very freaky and menacing. His wasn't freaky. His was like conveying a level of rage, which is really hard to do
Yeah, like it was nothing crazy about it.
without facial expressions.
He like gave the, if you are what you are, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And then delivered it. You are so lucky. This could have gone way worse for you, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he's.
Because I think at that stage, when he was looking for his uncle's killer, he definitely probably would have taken somebody out because he was freshly pissed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know.
Well, doesn't Peter in Tobey Maguire's, he thinks he killed Uncle Ben's killer, right? Because he ends up knocking him out of a window, doesn't he?
Maguire.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he killed him. The guy tripped over something and
That's
fell out the
right.
window on his own.
No, I'm thinking of Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield knocks him out of a window, doesn't he?
He didn't touch him either.
I can't remember now.
He didn't knock him out of the window. What happened to Uncle Ben in Amazing Spider-Man?
He got shot.
He got shot because the first one, the guy was trying to jack the car.
Yeah.
And then the second one,
The guy
Uncle
robbed
Ben
the
was-
store, and then he's like, "Stop that guy."
Right.
I missed the part where that's my problem. But I mean, what I was
should have had more Spider-Man and things on here.
But what I was going into is that's not the fault of Tobey's movie, though, because it was a different time. That movie was so... Well, like, and here's a fun fact, though, because when did that come out? 2001? Or 2000, even?
The first one...
Would have been
came out
2001.
It came out after September because they had...
Right, but they filmed it. They filmed it before. Yeah. And actually, the first trailer was released post 9/11 with the towers, but...
Hold that thought. Let's... What if SpongeBob was Spider-Man? That would be amazing.
No, it wouldn't. That would be awful. Just like everything associated with SpongeBob.
Oh!
It wouldn't work. He's underwater.
I don't know how that would work.
The webbing. I mean,
yeah.
There'd be nothing to stick to.
Can you imagine a fishbowl on top of his head with water and him web slinging throughout the city?
That was more like Peter Griffin. Spider-Man.
He uses patties as webs.
That's it. No.
Um.
Listen, there are some things. Spider-Ham works. Spider-SpongeBob does.
Sounds like a penguin. What do penguins sound like?
Depends on the species, actually.
Oh, listen here, you fucking nerd. Oh, see. Sorry.
Don't
be
be.
Better about cursing.
This is the internet. This is the Wild West.
I'm gonna come.
But what I was saying about Tobey Maguire is, you remember, like, I love that so much.
Wrong.
Well, you remember in the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, their family's poor.
Yeah.
And a constant theme of that is being poor. Andrew Garfield's family, which that movie came out in what?
They had money.
Yeah, they had money because
I think they were well off, but I'm pretty sure Peter's mom and dad, which, by the way, the deleted scene where he meets his dad, why the hell didn't they have that in the movie? You knew that, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And I
why
love
didn't they
that.
have that in the movie?
Because it would have been too good of a decision, because it completely changes the, and even though
That
it's
right there would have changed that movie and got people hyped for a third one.
I said the same thing. And here's the other thing too. Like, I know that's not canon.
Batman species.
Well, then it's like, I'm Penguin. But I know that's not canon. But screw canon.
We don't need canon. I got something in my eye. My finger.
But no, I think that would have made well.
Gotta validate.
I wouldn't say that would have saved that movie, because that movie had so many problems. But
validate your feelings.
it would have saved the franchise, I think, because there would have been enough hype and interest for another continuation movie.
Yeah, it's just sad we didn't get a third one. And I
Well,
would hope with everything going on,
we
it's like,
may.
let's get to work.
Let's do it. Come
Well,
on.
didn't Andrew Garfield say he's retiring?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield also said that he wasn't in Spider-Man No Way Home. And no, I don't think he's retiring. I think he said he was taking a break, but how often does that happen? You know, Tom Holland said he was taking a break too, yet he's still signed up to do more Spider-Man movies. So why wouldn't you?
And he's wanting to start a family. That's what he said. And
How
I'm
old is he?
Zendaya?
She already beat you to the punch, buddy.
She has a kid?
Yeah.
Zendaya
Or
has a
she's
kid?
at least pregnant.
Is it his?
No.
I thought he was with her.
No, they broke up.
Man.
She got knocked up by somebody else. That was a canon event. And little did they.
Is Mary Jane.
Well, here's
She was his Gwen.
technically.
So she has a baby. So now she's technically dead to him.
Yeah, she's done. Which is she was conveniently written out of the plot.
I didn't know that.
I want to make sure I'm not speaking out of turn.
So
Which is a shame because I actually
that's
came.
gonna be. Oh, hey, there you go. It's okay that she got written out because now he's gonna find his Mary Jane.
We'll see
I'm
that.
in love with Mary Jane. Something like that.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna do some fact checking real quick.
Steve, you still here?
Oh well, apparently there. Hang on.
Mary Jane. That's funny. Okay. I'm going to turn on this air conditioner, and I'm going to turn it on a low fan. Tell me how loud it is. If it's loud, you hear it over the microphone.
Wow. Okay.
Shit in here.
I fell for an internet rumor.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought I saw it.
I apologize. I fell for an internet rumor. So not only are they still
It's not a canon event. It's
Wow.
A small weird.
Wow, that was convincing though. So I apologize. I was dead wrong. So apparently not only did they not break up, but
Talk a little louder.
not only did they not break up, but
Just 'cause that's on.
yeah. So I was wrong. I apologize, internet. I
Sorry,
fell for a TikTok.
man. 83 in here. Sorry, guys. We had to turn on the air.
The fan AC, bro.
Yeah, this old reliable in the
I think he's saying it's loud.
oh no he was correcting himself.
Oh no. Oh well. Just watch for glass. That's fine. Yeah, just definitely watch out for glass.
Bad air conditioner.
Oh wow.
Bad air
I
conditioner.
didn't even think about that. That's my fault.
No, it's all right.
I'm the one that
I
said it
turned
there.
it on.
Oh, I know, but I'm the one that said it. It's not a stable surface, but.
Give me some break. I even read it like that too.
Give me some break. I'm telling you what,
How about laws and rules?
people might laugh at me, but that song's on my playlist.
That's a good song.
It is a good song.
You know I pack a chainsaw? Just getting your ass
It's
rolled.
wrong. No,
It's
yeah,
just picking up.
Yeah, like-
shards of glass.
yeah, like Darth Vader in Episode 3. No. You know what? It would have been better if you didn't add that like at the end.
I know. That doesn't even sound like James Earl Jones.
The sad thing is, it is, and it's like, bro, I know you can do a longer no than that. So that means they actually went with a bad take because they liked it.
No.
No.
Boy, that thing just was shattered.
Actually, I'm surprised it didn't break more.
Like my heart. That poor thing.
I was just about to say, why didn't we get emo Spider-Man, but we did.
Oh, yeah. Which one would you consider emo Spider-Man?
Ben Reilly in the movie.
Oh, dude. I can't. What did he say? I can't go anywhere. I've got problems or something like that. I can't remember with it. That was really good.
Maybe actually, you know what? If Spider-Punk gets wasted in the next movie, I'll
Oh,
cheer
you
in the
want
theater.
longer?
I'll cheer in the theater.
Oh yeah.
It's like a sand.
Oh.
I will do it. I'll cheer in the theater. Kind of like I laughed like a small child when Robert Pattinson inflated his suit.
Oh, that was so funny in the Batman.
Oh man, that was too funny.
I'm still excited though for the Flash movie just to see Michael Keaton.
I know. That's like I want to see that, but so what I would have preferred to see Michael Keaton talking about Batman again. There were not even rumors. People were saying like they should make a Batman Beyond movie and have Michael Keaton play Bruce Wayne in that one, and that would have been. Which I guess with multiverse you can technically.
And listen, if you want to do this right, I already know the perfect person to play him.
Who?
Same build.
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah.
Who?
Tom Holland. It would work.
Except, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I am a stickler for character accuracy, and technically speaking, Terry McGinnis is... No, Terry McGinnis isn't Asian. His girlfriend is. No. Dude.
You're welcome.
He's one of many good choices.
Oh, yeah. There's several good choices, but I'm just saying for the age and the way he looks...
He's almost too old, though. But he
is too old, but he looks young.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What's another... Andrew Garfield a couple years ago would have been a good choice too.
Yeah, he didn't like him as Batman. I watched the whole movie.
Is he talking about Pattinson
yeah, he's talking about Pattinson.
Or is he talking about Michael Keaton?
Oh no, he loves Michael Keaton.
Okay, just making sure.
Well, the Michael Keaton Batman. Michael Keaton is a national treasure. I'm sorry, dude. And the other guys,
dude,
when they're having the silent fight, he's like, "What is going on here?"
Oh man,
he reminds me of the teacher from the first Spider-Man. Or whatever he said.
Oh, I see. He's the next person who talks will fail this class. I kid you not.
Oh, that dude played so hard.
Michael Keaton is Batman. Hey man, no arguments here. Actually,
I like Batfleck.
I do too, man. That's my favorite version of Batman.
Because the thing is, he had the build for
also
the animated series Batman.
Well, and not only that, and again, I'll say with Batman especially.
Except that dude breed. That shit was stupid.
I actually kind of liked that, but
lame.
Whatever. Sometimes I like campy shit. But when it comes to Batman, because they are really two distinct characters, you have to have somebody that can play Batman and Bruce Wayne. And I think he was the one who did both characters the best. Because, for example, Christian Bale, awesome Batman. Terrible Bruce Wayne. George Clooney, awesome Bruce Wayne. Terrible Batman. Val Kilmer, kind of...
He was good on both.
He was good, but he wasn't... Actually, you know what? That's a good point. He was pretty good. I feel like
let's just say he was good, but not...
Okay, but here's why. If Val Kilmer had been given a darker script,
he says I believe Beetlejuice was right before that.
Yeah.
All right, what darker script?
If Val Kilmer had been given a darker Batman script, I think he would have shined.
It would have suited his acting.
Yeah,
more.
But he had a Joel Schumacher movie, so you know.
I mean, look at it, George Clooney. They're just like, how can we make this comical?
Well, he talks.
I was told that. I'm sorry. I was told that they wanted to make his more cartoony.
Well, because Joel Schumacher has been quoted by several people, and Joel Schumacher, if for no other reason, should definitely apologize for the murder of Chris O'Donnell's career.
All right, buddy.
But he repeatedly saying, like, when he was about ready to call action, he'd be like, and remember, we're selling toys, so don't be serious. So, I mean, and like Batman and Robin was a guilty pleasure of mine when I was a child.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But
I had the toys. That Batmobile was
dude,
sick.
The toys were sick. And I'm sorry, I still love...
Were better than... Well, actually, the movie wasn't Chill out.
I still love Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. But for comedy.
Doesn't he say chill out?
Oh, it's better than that. He just says chill.
Oh, no, chill.
Chill. And then out of nowhere, he throws a kill in there. He's like, chill, chill, kill. Here's my favorite one. He's like, Adam and evil.
Dude, the guy that does the voiceovers, he needs to just do that scene and then somehow slip in, look at my boobies, Jack. It just needs to happen.
Still,
do one that is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That would be great. I still think my favorite Schwarzenegger film might be Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, yeah. Girls. Yeah.
Thanks for the tip.
Kindergarten Cop was awesome. Favorite evil Spider-Man?
Bully Maguire.
Miguel.
No problem.
Carnage.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm kind of digging. I jokingly say Bully Maguire, but
Spider Carnage wanted to erase everything.
That's the definition of carnage, though.
But anyway, you say Bully Maguire?
No, I say Bully Maguire jokingly, but honestly, I think Miguel from across the Spider-Verse might be. Now, it kind of does remain to be seen how evil he is, but they've dropped enough hints, man. I mean, he's not a good guy. Now, I think he's a flawed guy, and I think in the very end, I predict that Gwen and Miguel will die. And what I hope, just so it comes full circle, I hope that Miguel meets his end as a redeemed character who sacrifices himself to save the entire multiverse. That's what I kind of think will happen. And maybe Gwen will get taken out by the Spot, and that's what will snap Miguel out of his... And then he understands that he has to set things right, and part of that is he has to not exist because he screwed it up so much.
Do you think that Miguel is...
Oh! Sorry, not to cut you off.
What?
So, dude! Okay. So, in the last movie, Gwen dies in battle, probably due to the Spot. Snaps Miguel out. Miguel realizes he has to shut down this whole multiverse thing, and in doing so, he has to sacrifice himself. Miles has to deal with losing Gwen, but he can't travel multiverses anymore. But, end of the movie, he runs into the Gwen Stacy in his universe. Calling the shot.
If she exists in that universe.
Come on.
I gotta shut it down.
I'm just saying, would that not be an awesome end to that movie?
Yeah, and basically be like, oh, hey, can we go get a coffee?
Well, because remember, he's acting... Oh, dude, they've already planted the seed! Because he's acting all shy next to Gwen. In this movie, Miles can't take the leap. Oh, that's going to be so good when it happens.
Mark that down, save it, make it short, because I guarantee you prediction time, that's pretty good.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Did you just come up with that on the spot?
Yep, just right now. I was like, oh, he's going to run into Gwen in his universe.
I like it.
He's going to run into Gwen Stacy. He's like,
Glenn!
Hey, you know what, man? You'd make a really cute girl. You think so? No, man, that would be...
Speaking of Glenn, Little Pig! Oh.
It'd be emotionally charged as hell, but, like, it'd be very similar,
Because the thing is, they can't be together because they're from two different universes.
Right.
Anyway. I mean, can they, though?
No, because without the little watch
Peter
do...
Parker's universe is erased. He lives with the Spider Society.
No.
Yeah.
No, he went home.
Are you sure?
Yeah. He dropped the baby off with MJ and everything.
Someone said his universe got erased.
No. Peter B. Parker was there when the universe that Miguel was inhabiting got erased. But
a lot of people in the comments got that wrong then.
well,
There was someone arguing saying that his universe was erased.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But if it did, okay, no, I'm calling that because if Miguel was if Miguel is the one that caused that universe to be erased, why would Peter B. Parker associate with him at all? Even if it was an accident.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He wouldn't have a choice. Where else is he gonna go?
But then Peter B. Parker would have, unless he has to keep the watch thing on the whole time.
Can you imagine being the Spider-Man can you imagine being the terminal of Spider-Man?
What?
Remember the movie The Terminal?
Oh god.
Imagine you got the joke now.
Krakosia.
So your universe gets erased, and yet you're brought to another one. You're like, my whole universe is gone.
I gotta stay in Spider-Man headquarters.
And he's the terminal of.
He's the turtle in Spider-Verse. That's hilarious. Oh man. Actually, I think that was a mistake that they did. I think it would have been a lot more ominous if they hadn't shown that shot of Peter B. Parker. And it was just a thing where, like, Peter B. Parker knows about it, but only because Miguel told him. This is assuming that I'm right about Miguel.
Well, because he looks over to him and he goes,
Isn't that right, Peter?
Right.
Yeah.
you know, isn't that right? And then so that's where a lot of I'm assuming that's where a lot of people got confused, assuming that it was his universe that got erased.
And possibly,
why would he be there if? Like,
well, he
because
would
what
have.
Miguel did was selfish.
Right, and again,
I understand.
But this
completely.
is.
Just saying.
But this is why I think that Miguel killed the other Miguel from that universe, because it was a very selfish thing to do. And he's justifying it by saying, like, the version of me there died.
And listen.
So I stepped in.
Get this, though. So, back to the evil Miguel theory. So he killed him off, and then he destroys the universe unintentionally.
Yeah, because I don't think he did it on purpose.
But then when that universe went down and whatnot, and then he's basically telling everybody not to do what he did.
Right.
And being selfish in that matter because he did it. It's like who makes you the ultimate?
Well, but here we go again. That answers or that goes into that big morality question
about the incursion.
He is, but his motivations are unclear as of right now. It probably is to prevent it from happening again, but he doesn't fully understand what happened, because I do believe it was an accident. But now he's like got it under lock and key, and yet all these spider people are traveling between universes, though. I think he's covering his track, because I think he already set up the Spider Society.
He was very suspicious.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Well,
like,
and
anybody who's like saying, "Oh, he's a good guy," he just the universe he was staying in got erased because he doesn't actually come from that universe that got erased. So therefore,
he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, I don't think it was his being there that caused it to be erased. I think that he messed with the fabric of it by killing his counterpart.
Sorry, the universe unraveled. It did not get erased like half of the people when Thanos did the snap, because those people technically never existed. But those people that in that universe died.
But they did exist, but now they no longer existed, so it's like a weird Back to the Future paradox.
Theory, man.
Which you gotta love how Back to the Future just messed up time travel because they tried to do both, and it just... I mean, it worked for the movie.
Those are great movies.
I love Back to the Future. And
but like, when you try to think of how like it works and this and that, it's like...
You're like, wait a minute, because you're in the first one, it's clearly a linear time theory, but then in part 2, they splinter one off, and I'm like, it's not the same thing.
You know, that's
or maybe it is.
Is there any Spider-Man that travel time?
There's gotta be.
I mean, if they can jump to different realities, different universes.
Well, but that goes into the theory of, is time travel actually time travel, or is it like what DBZ did when you're like, Trunks travels to the past, but it's actually a different universe?
Timeline.
Well, but it would be a different universe, though.
I think it's the same universe, just different timeline. I could be wrong, but
well, but then you get into weird definitions. So, but
then that would mean Bulma, instead of making a time machine, she made a.
Well, but technically, okay. So here's why, and I'm so not a physicist, so I'm probably gonna mess this up. But DBS actually supports this with the whole time ring thing. So you remember when Gowasu was talking about the time rings, and anytime somebody changes the past, another time ring is automatically created because another reality. I guess a better way to put it, instead of universe, would be another reality, but which is actually just like a parallel universe, right? But where was I going with this? So yeah, they already established that, and then Trunks' reality gets erased by Zeno, but then it's like, no, we can go back and just...
Well, they didn't go back. They used the Super Dragon Balls to wish the universe back, which included what was her name? Not Pan.
Mai?
Trunks' girlfriend. Mai.
Yeah, Mai.
Yeah, so it had an additional Mai and Trunks in that universe,
Right.
but they were in it too. But they could just live anywhere. They're not gonna.
Yeah.
But think about that though. I'm gonna turn this back on. Trunks in that universe would still be a warrior.
Yeah.
So therefore, he can probably feel Ki, and he's gonna go see another Trunks. But what the hell?
Right, and they touch on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that didn't they leave the planet?
Oh yeah, you're right. I think
Yeah.
they did. Where'd they go? Live on Namek or something? Yeah, we're going.
Go live with Broly.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a planet that literally doesn't grow food because the inhabitants don't eat; they only drink water. So Trunks and Namek.
Oh, Namek.
So Trunks and Mai die a slow, miserable death by
You
starvation.
know why they just drink water?
Well, because they're slugs.
Well, because they have the ability to eat or drink water. And/or.
Photosynthesis. I said that wrong. Photosynthesis.
Hold on, Gary. I'm photosynthesizing.
They could have gone to Vampa.
Favorite weird Spider-Man like man spider. I'm gonna try to think of an obscure one. Basically a Spider-Man with a crazy alteration.
I mean, this isn't like super weird, but I gotta go black suit symbiote Spider-Man. I liked
That is a good
I
one.
liked that arc of the character so much. I dug it, and it gave us Bully Maguire, so it's a twofer.
Wasn't there? It really wouldn't count as Spider-Man, but in one of the universes, Peter Parker became the Lizard.
Yeah, in Gwen's reality. Well, they've done it more than once.
Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, it doesn't count as Spider-Man, but
There's one where he's a vampire, isn't there? No, or is that? Am I thinking of Miguel?
zombie when they made Spider-Man zombie.
Yep.
Can you imagine having a superpowered zombie? Dude, seriously?
No, no
Dude,
thanks.
The meme where it's like, oh, the zombie apocalypse has started, and it says, but they're the ones from World War Z, and it has Tobey Maguire. Ah! Oh, dude, it's so funny.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Oh, geez.
I think it's so funny because Tobey Maguire, and I don't get me wrong, I like Tobey Maguire, but he just doesn't, unless he's yelling at paparazzi, he just doesn't come off as very threatening.
He gets mad and he's just more adorable.
Move out of the way! It's like when a kid's throwing a tantrum.
But seriously though, I felt him, and I'm like, dude, seriously, get out of the way of the car.
Yeah.
Don't do that ever. That's never.
Well,
smart to stand by the car.
frankly, I think that they should pass a law where
Paparazzi cannot
where
harass.
paparazzi can get punched in the face if they're doing something stupid. I don't know how you would word that law.
Well,
But like for example, if they're obstructing, well, okay, so this is what if they're obstructing traffic, and this goes for anybody, including protesters. If they're obstructing traffic, if they're preventing you from getting you, if they're preventing you
some
from getting where you,
states passed it.
yeah, and I totally for that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, man, if you're making people late for work because you're trying to.
Well, not only that, what if there's an emergency vehicle? Are you going to stop it? This is a legitimate question.
Oh, they will too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, maybe not just a couple protesters, but if
No,
there's a
when they
big
have
crowd,
that human wall or whatever, I say, lay on the horn and
do what
keep
you gotta
going.
do.
Lay on the horn and keep going. They'll move.
But
And if they don't move, it's their fault.
you know who's really good at moving?
What?
Spider-Man.
Which one?
Not Peter B. Parker. He broke his back.
Ooh.
Remember?
Yep.
Can you imagine even as Spider-Man? That's got to be painful. But the thing is, he heals quicker.
Yeah.
But he's not.
You got to set that then, though.
Deadpool's healing is faster.
Yeah.
But
Well, Deadpool's is almost instantaneous.
yeah, Spider-Man his takes time. Basically, he's just a normal human.
It just
Everything
amplified.
is just faster.
But he does whatever a spider can. Except, ironically, spin a web in most iterations.
Yeah, and the joke.
There's one. What did? Oh God, we touched on this a long time ago. We were talking about how it would be funny if you had an anatomically correct Spider-Man with organic web shooters. It's shoot it out of his ass.
All right. Can you imagine him swinging upside down with his ass in the
We
air?
were predicting. I think the clip's on the channel somewhere. It's like we were predicting Spider-Man No Way Home, but we were talking about that. Wait up, guys!
You know, they could have this iteration in the next Miles Morales movie. Just saying. That would be hilarious.
That would be funny. Hey man, if you got a T-Rex Spider-Man, you can have a Spider-Man that shoots web out his ass.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine the net web? Get Johnny Knoxville to play him.
Why is the webbing brown?
It's just the species of spider.
Oh man.
Ironically, we stayed on topic a lot better on this one.
Yeah.
We've kept it pretty much a Spider-Man, and even the tangents are somewhat related.
Well, I think because we're gung ho about it right now.
Well, not only that, it's a loose enough topic to where we don't have to say super precise. Because, like, hey, this Spider-Man, and actually, I would
Spider-Man, he's a menace.
I would actually say the Spider-Man that grew on me. Tom Holland's Spider-Man grew on me real slow. At first, I did not care for it.
In Civil War, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, oh man, I did not like that at all.
But then, like, as I got to know him a little more throughout the movie,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Every movie, I liked him a
his
little bit more.
personality has always stayed the same, except for events changing him just to, a little more brooding.
Well, but actually, I disagree with you. I think he grows in every movie. Yeah, be careful with that, dude. I don't want you to.
Oh, you're good.
I think that's why I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is because he grows with every experience, and then by the time you get to No Way Home, which honestly, I'm gonna say it, No Way Home is a perfect movie. There's very little that you can change. Some of the stuff is a little ambiguous, but would you really want to devote that much time to explaining all the intricacies when you're just advancing the plot? This person's like interviewing us.
What DBZ character would you invite to your birthday party?
Ooh.
Piccolo. He'll definitely watch the kids.
I'm going to say Goku. I'm going to be like, Goku, your present for me is to teach me how to control ki.
No.
We all tried it.
Gohan, because he's the better teacher.
Maybe Piccolo would be the right choice.
Goku is just like I don't understand why you can't learn this. It's like, you haven't taught me, bitch.
I don't know.
Goku would probably be a good teacher.
Actually, you know what? You're probably right, because Goku was a natural at it.
Yes.
Which makes a very poor ingredients for a teacher.
It's like, listen, I think Gohan and Vegeta have more in common when it comes to battle.
They do.
And they both have latent ability, but Goku has just always just been a natural, and that's why it works out for him.
Goku will eat all your food. Another reason to invite Piccolo.
He doesn't eat. He just drinks water.
Yeah, you could be a real asshole and invite Piccolo to a potluck. What do I bring?
Stop at the store. Okay.
Piccolo, just bring the greens. That's not funny. Yeah, that's a good point. Don't invite Goku to any party.
No. Yeah, you'll have to take out like an extra 4 mortgages on your home.
Well, Bulma manages to do it, so.
She's also the richest person on the planet.
Yeah.
Listen. One of the biggest problems I have with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, Bulma has been a billionaire since birth.
Yeah.
Why are her friends struggling? Why did Yamcha really be able to afford anything? Why was Puar and them living at the...
Well, Yamcha at one point was a professional baseball player.
I know, but the thing is, remember, he didn't last too long at that. Because remember, Puar, it pays the bills. And then that weird voice from, what was it?
Was that Ocean Dub?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some were hits, some were misses. Oolong wasn't very good in the Ocean Dub either.
He sounded similar to...
Similar, but
the guy who does it now, he's just more raspy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But the other guy, he was clean sounding, but sounded like Oolong.
That's a good point. Which Master Roshi was better?
Oh, the one we have now.
Yeah, I agree.
That guy's fantastic.
Yeah. I gotta say,
he does. He just sounds like a dirty old man.
And rest in peace, Chris Ayers, but was the GOAT as Frieza.
The new guy sounds almost like him.
I know, and he's that's a good point. But his Frieza.
Listen, rest in peace, Chris Ayres. Linda Young will always be my favorite Frieza.
Here's the difference, though.
Because I am mighty and you
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Linda Young, but I love her as Genkai in Yu Yu Hakusho, which if you haven't watched, you should watch it.
I've heard.
It's so well.
I've listened to little tidbits.
The first, actually, all but the last arcs are really good, and the last arc is kind of meh. But the Dark Tournament, especially, is honestly one of the best arcs in anime. It's such a good story, and there's
Yu Yu Hakusho.
yeah, and there's a lot of action, but the story is just killer. And then there's this moment where Yusuke has to pass her final test in order to get her to inherit her power. And then there's a moment where he's about to give up, and but when he decides, the exact line is, "Screw this, I'm getting us out of here." And then Justin Cook delivers a scream that rivals on DBZ level, and it is just
Justin Cook. Why does this sound familiar?
he's a Funimation voice actor. He didn't he
play live on something? Sounds familiar.
Justin Cook. I don't think he did much in DBZ, but
I feel like he played on Supernatural.
maybe.
No. Okay. No. But that's weird. He kind of looks like a little bit like Ryan Dunn.
A little bit.
Whoa. You guys are the best at your job. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you again for subscribing. We really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. We're trying to get monetized so that we can do this more often and deliver
better quality, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
better ingredients, better intelligence, average. No, better ingredients, average intelligence.
I like it.
Better ingredients, average intelligence. So Yu Yu Hakusho, definitely recommend. But honestly, you still got to watch Invincible. Because Steven Yeun is another really... J.K. Simmons seals the show. Steven Yeun's really good because he plays Invincible.
Steven Yeun
is good.
He's a fantastic actor.
He's fantastic.
Like, even in Nope. Nope was terrible, but like...
What was it when you asked me? Is like, you want to go see Nope? And it's just Nope.
You should have just went because you would have had fun laughing.
No, man.
Dude, there's a scene in that movie because it's about essentially about aliens. There's a scene in the movie like these little kids. I'm assuming from another house or whatever. That this guy's like, he's getting his horse or whatever, and it's at night. He's by himself, and he sees little. I lost my email, so I made a new YouTube channel. Oh.
Thanks for going the extra mile.
Dang. Heck yeah. But so they see these little aliens. You know, he sees something creep its little head out. And dude, when you're watching the movie, you're like, no way, you're gonna see little aliens, and it was little kids in masks, but they look so real for a second.
Another show you need to watch that you probably haven't yet. I don't think I told you about it. Is Young Justice. That's another really good one.
I've got a lot to watch.
You do.
I just don't have the time. Just like
I feel your pain. What am I trying to watch now? I started. Oh, I picked back. I've seen The Wonder Years through its entirety, but a couple years ago I started watching it again. I got to almost the end of season 2 and then just stopped watching it.
Such a good show.
I picked it back up, man. It's so good. Talk about a show that holds up, and those kids.
Great actors.
Wow. Particularly Fred Savage, but I mean everybody does good. Some of Winnie's lines in the early season, but it's her character, so I don't know if I can really blame Danica McKellar. But definitely as she got older, like her, and then Joe Saviano, who played Paul.
Yeah.
He's hilarious through the whole thing.
Because you know who he reminds us of.
Yes, I know exactly.
One of our friends.
And what's funny is he grew up the exact same way. We were all the same height until after one summer.
And then we all left y'all in the dust.
Young Justice is a really good show, and like it suffered from the Greg Weisman curse. Because do you remember the show Gargoyles? Another really good show.
Series?
Yeah, dude, Gargoyles.
I don't think it was alive.
No, there was not. Not of the same ilk. There may have been one, but it wasn't related.
Yeah.
But Gargoyles is another show that holds up. Like I watch it
I
as
heard
an.
something about a reboot.
I hope so. As long as Greg Weisman is involved, then I'm good with it. Because Greg Weisman was behind Young Justice as well. Greg Weisman is a wonderful storyteller, and I think that if they just gave DC over to him, he would take care of it, and they wouldn't have to worry about anything. Because
I don't know who owns DC. Who owns DC?
Warner Brothers.
They need to just either get some different.
Well, I think the problem is they're too big of a machine because like there's the DC film division, there's the DC animated division, and the DC animated division only exists to hype up the feature films, but the animated movies are better.
You know what I didn't check out?
What?
This entire time, we've only been using your.
What rule?
So obviously people can still hear me a bit.
Yeah, well, this is a really good microphone, so. Whoopers. But yeah, Gargoyles is another good one. What was I talking about? Yes, Young Justice. Young Justice is very, very... Oh, but it suffered from the Greg Weisman curse because for some reason, Greg Weisman has a habit of getting tapped to create shows and then either from the outset, it's supposed to sell toys or they decide that they want it to sell toys, which is the case with Young Justice. And Greg Weisman's like, I'm going to deliver you a great show, but the problem is his shows are so good that they appeal to an older audience and not so much to kids, so they don't sell the toys, right? And friggin' Young Justice got replaced with Teen Titans Go, which is a travesty of a show, but it appeals to kids. Now, actually, Teen Titans Go, while I don't like it, there have been a handful of episodes that I thought were very cleverly written. Because there's one that actually...
Microphone now.
There's one episode where actually it teaches kids about money.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Like, it teaches them about, like, down payments and stuff like that.
And it's a DC show?
Young Justice... not Young Justice, sorry. Teen Titans Go.
Huh.
Which Teen Titans was another really good show. I just haven't seen it in its entirety.
Those times I screamed, like just today, that they were caught by your microphone, so I didn't blow up anyone's ears.
Good boy. Well, actually, try the soundboard now. See if it's any louder.
Shoot it and I suffered the pressure. Stop the cap.
Oh, my God.
Oh man, we're almost at 2. You want to keep going, or you want to?
I mean,
Wrap her up. We've come over a lot of theories. We can always do another one.
yeah.
We don't have to do Spider-Man. If y'all have any suggestions.
I feel like now we have to do a Batman. Actually, you know what we should do? We
go
should
through
get
all
around,
the Marvel.
No, we should do that, but we should also go. We should get around to watching The Flash so that we can either praise it because it had been unjustly persecuted, or we can rip it apart.
I say.
I blame Ezra Miller.
Sometime this next week, let's go see
I blame Ezra Miller for all of it. I'm telling you, I said when they said they were.
I like Ezra Miller.
I
like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I don't like I said, I don't have to like someone personally, and I know you're not that way either, but you just don't like him as a character.
I don't like him as a character or
Actor.
a person. Yeah,
I don't like as a person. I don't really care. If you're a good actor, you're a good actor. That's like Amber Heard in Aquaman. I don't care what her past is. Like, I'm not watching a movie for her past. I'm watching her for her boobies, Jack.
Well, but Aquaman sucked.
Aquaman was good,
No,
dude.
it wasn't.
Why did everyone hate it?
Because it had shitty CGI, it had a shitty story. His armor looked better in Justice League, but they went too true. Steve.
Hey, no, you're good, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the like. I hope you can answer this. Are you a new subscriber or have you been here before? Because I don't recall seeing you, and if you have, I apologize. Then this motherfucker.
Canadian toast. Into leftist stuff. How do you guys feel about Hollywood? Can you read that?
Proselytizing? Toast, you're going to have to forgive the American education system.
It has failed us.
What is that word?
Spider-Man and Marvel in general.
Hollywood proselytizing.
Been here a while. Been watching all your.
Oh, right on, man.
Thank you for the support, my friend. Yeah, I still need help with that word, brother.
I'm just gonna do myself a favor and I'm gonna Google the word because I'm just.
It is the Average Intelligence Podcast.
And we're
Don't laugh at me.
Convert or attempt to convert one from one religion, belief, or opinion to another. Oh,
That's a good word.
that is a really good word.
I like it.
Dude, Toast is smart.
Toast is smart. Actually, having a conversation with Toast is very fun, which is why, and I understand, I'm not giving you shit, Toast. I'm just letting people know.
Get that podcast wrong.
Yeah, Toast is working on his podcast, and it's going to be entertaining as hell because it's so much fun talking to him. Yeah, but you just copy and pasted that from Google, so I am going to give you shit from that. But what do you mean as far as Spider-Man? Because I feel like Spider-Man is one of the properties where they're doing that the least.
Yeah, because honestly, have you really heard any like politic or anything from any of the Spider-Man movies?
Not a lot.
Like maybe a subtle comment here and there.
It's a good word.
That's a very good
Proselytizing. I'm going to start using that. It's kind of like when I first heard the word perspicacious.
Proselytize.
I like that word. That's a good one.
Do you like it too?
That should be on a T-shirt. That should be on a T-shirt. Proselytize me. It's going. Or I've been proselytized.
Dude, like that is such a good freaking word right now because of everything that's going on in the country. So
I have an answer for Toast. So Toast, actually, Miles Morales is
Black Spider-Man.
that's older than this kind of like woke movement that we've been
Noir.
seeing. Well, no, I'm talking about Miles Morales.
Well, I mean, also Spider-Punk, he was black.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't mention there were a handful of race swaps.
He was the he was a British guy. Remember? I'm not gonna out you. You little.
Well, just
racist.
because, I mean, I wouldn't care, but it sounds really bad. What's
You know
another
great word? Rescinded.
Okay, that one I do know. That's a great word.
You know what else is a great word? Defenestrate, and that is the act of throwing something through a window.
I like masticate. That's a good one.
Is that what you do in your free time?
Well, only when I eat.
I like metastasize.
Actually, no. There's a lyric in Beauty and the Beast that it cracks me the hell up.
My sack is stuck to my sides. What?
Well, actually, there's two, but the one I'm thinking of in Beauty and the Beast, he doesn't use masticase, but when they're singing Gaston, male Asian Luke Cage, sweet no, this is so racist, but it's funny. No, sweet Christmas.
Oh, should I eat the cuttlefish and asparagus?
No, but the lyric in Beauty and the Beast is
Defenestrate, not defenetrate.
So the lyric is when they're singing Gaston, and he takes the
Gaston.
He says nobody spits like Gaston, and then he goes, "I'm especially good at expectorating." And then the other one, there's a lyric in. And then there's a lyric in The Little Mermaid when Ursula's casting the spell. She randomly says max laryngitis. I'm like, that's funny. As a kid, didn't notice it. As an adult, I'm like, because she loses her voice. That's hilarious.
You know what the worst part about you two, cuttlefish?
See, this... Okay,
I wish we could fix that delay. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but that's what she said.
See, by the way, this is what we want the channel to be, because this is fun.
Yeah, we would much rather
10
be able
points for
to talk to
Gaston.
people.
Because we speak in references all the time. Like, we just look at each other. Sometimes we're hanging out. We're just like, you gonna cry?
I hope he sees that.
Or actually, what was it one time? We weren't arguing, but we were... Oh, you moved it. You done messed up now.
See you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you. Every week on Thursday nights, for the most part. And if it's not Thursday, we let you know.
And just like Biden said.
Jordan and I suffered depression.
What was... We weren't arguing, but we were like debating, and then you just pause and go, hey, I'm gonna rub some dirt in your eye.
that sounds. Peace. Love. Chicken grease and love and peace. Looks like horror did too.
What did horror do? What Brian Boitano would do?
What would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now? He'd
I'm
probably
sure he'd kick
suck a
ass
dick
or
or
two.
two. Because it's 2022. Oh, it's 2023, my bad.
Well, no,
It rhymed.
in 2022 we'd cut him off.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which, by the way, I'm now. So this is. It's not embarrassing. It's funny to me. So I've wanted to see the Book of Mormon for years, but I haven't gotten a chance. The stage show that Matt and Trey wrote.
Oh, yeah.
But I found.
He says, sounds like me writing proselytize.
But I randomly came
Biden.
across one.
True.
I came across one of the songs, I believe, which is actually a really good song. It's funny, and the singer is killer. But now I'm like, God, I really want to watch this show. So I listened to the soundtrack. That entire show is hilarious. The whole thing is, and like, there's a song in there. It's like, what is scary ass Mormon hell dream or something.
What would Chef Boyardee do?
He'd
Make
open up.
SpaghettiOs.
He'd open up a can or two. That's what Chef Boyardee do.
Chef Boyardee do.
That's what Chef Boyardee do.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, no, you have to say it slow. I bet you know what? I bet you that song can work for just about anybody.
Most likely. It's fucking hot in here.
You might have to add an extra word in there because, like, for somebody like Joe Biden,
Wouldn't it be the best troll ever if Dylan Mulvaney was actually trolling us all the time? Dude,
he has been.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He said that. I mean, it would be funny, but
Hey, full circle. Dylan Mulvaney was Elder White. in the
Dylan
Book of
Mulvaney
Mormon.
did not add a circle.
Well, no, because
Good joke.
Dylan Mulvaney's first role was Book of Mormon. His first Broadway role, I believe.
Oh, he was a
No,
performer?
Elder White, yeah.
Oh.
He was one. Hello.
hello.
Yeah,
Oh,
Book
shit.
of Mormon. But that's that song I was talking about off air. The Man Up.
Dude, damn. We had 7 there for a second, and then they all clicked away.
They're like, they're not talking about Spider-Man.
It's like, listen, dog, it's 2 hours into the podcast. You can't expect us to be talking about just Spider-Man the entire time. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna put
Just
some. I'm gonna put some dirt here.
I know, I need that.
What's the other line Bully Maguire is known for? Oh, I missed the part where that's not Bully Maguire, but I missed the part where that's my problem.
Wrong.
So, Toast, if you didn't know, we have
We got a media
stream,
deck.
a stream deck. So
Stream
therefore,
I'm out of water. I did not know that.
oh man,
Open the door. Open the door.
Did you ever?
Open the door.
Did you get Gilbert?
no, I forgot about it. You know what? I can get it right now.
Good drown, Gilbert.
No, actually, that's
It's
I couldn't find
you gotta
the
edit.
yeah,
You'd have to edit it.
which I did edit.
Sure did I suffer depression.
I cut it down to where it played immediately.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm just telling you, it's like so frustrating. Stream deck. I got a big
How
deck.
cool is that?
Tell me more. So basically, this thing is just a multimedia tool. You plug it in, and you can program. It has well.
Show them the camera angles.
This. Oh yeah, duh. See, there's Jake. I can switch between him now, and then I turn that back, and then I can. I'm frozen. Yeah. So.
Oh no.
I
That's how
haven't
you
really
say it, huh?
I haven't really switched to mine in a while because I don't like putting myself on front.
Our,
street
our,
like that.
our setup is going to be, most of the time, it's going to be the wide shot, and we're going to change it around for next time. But
Yeah.
if one of us is going deep, and it's mostly for shorts and to make things more interesting.
I have to get my computer out of this room. So it's got to go. Cord's got to go through a wall here because I have a 3080 in my computer, and
It
it
gets
hot as balls in here, and it's mainly all coming from this freaking space heater that I call a computer.
Oh, but yeah, we are kind of rambling now, so maybe we should wrap her up.
Yep.
Wrap her up and be safe. Put on a raincoat, children.
All
Put
right.
on a raincoat, children.
No,
Sure did I suffer depression.
you put on whatever that is.
What do you think Joe Biden would do if he got bitten by a radioactive spider.
He says, "Oh my God, angles."
I mean, other than die.
I believe angles are real.
Oh, as long as they're right.
Oh shit, I forgot. I
Stand alone.
Anyway, all right. Get us the fuck off. This just took a pot. Dude. Hey,
All right,
ahead.
Jimmy.
Oh, I can't even turn it off. Yeah, the thing is though, like, once you get working with OBS, and if you're working with this, you'll understand that, like, it doesn't, like, just switch to the camera. It basically disables a camera.
Yeah, it disables a layer.
If I could just, like, switch to different cameras with a touch of a button, that would be fantastic. I'm still a noob at it, so I'm going to try to learn.
There's more robust software that will have it, but
Right.
let me leave you with a cheers. That's so
Hey.
good.
Thanks for hanging out. Hey. What does Al say?
I can't remember.
He does it salute.
Yeah, I think
does
it's
it
just
do
a
the
salute. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I enjoyed some videos I saw of Canadians just chewing Trudeau out. I guess this happened recently. I guess they're talking about it's like some people up there have in Canada they're hydro bills, but here we call them electric bills. Some people have electric bills that are over $1,000, and the biggest contributor is a carbon tax. Which is hilarious considering the Canadian wildfires, which they're either unwilling or unable to put out, are contributing far more carbon than Canadian heat bills.
All right, we're rambling. Let's chop her up.
Rambling on. And they say that a hero would save us. Remember when Benji schooled me? Yeah, I do. It's a closed door podcasting course, though. We haven't even begun to touch on that, actually. Actually, I might have you do the tutorial on that one.
Take care, brush your hair, don't forget down there. Dude, puberty hit me weird, man. I don't really have a lot of hair all over my body.
Yeah, man.
But this guy, he turned into Wolverine.
I went bald, and then...
Your hair came back?
Yeah, but down there.
Oh. I was like, what the fuck? Baby's down there. Or up there.
Up there, there's so much room. Baby's burp and flowers bloom. Oh, yeah, we're rambling.
Yep.
Thank you for enjoying this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast, and a special thank you to all the new subscribers and the people who participated in the chat. We love you guys, but in a platonic way, not like in a way. Hopefully you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent. Hey, it's only when the cameras are off.
They're getting ready to go off.
As always, if you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're very close to getting our 1,000 subscribers, which is the next step we need to get monetized so that we can do this better and more often for all you lovely people out, or you party people, as my friend Toast would say. So just the biggest thing you can do is actually share our videos.
If you enjoy it and you think someone else is going to enjoy it, don't share it if you don't think someone's going to enjoy it.
No, absolutely send it to them if you think they're going to hate it. No,
Honestly, yeah, because the thing is, if they want to comment,
views of you.
We enjoy debating in the comments too. I do.
But unfortunately, if you would prefer to listen to the podcast, you can still support it by listening to it wherever you get your podcasts, including but not limited to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon, Radio Now, Podcast Addict. Essentially, wherever you get your audio podcasts, you can more than likely find us, unless you're on some weird, obscure one. We love you in a creepy way. And support this man when he gets his podcast up and running, because it's going to be...
We will plug him as soon as it...
It's going to be hilarious.
We are not going to plug him, but we will plug him.
I mean, we might. It depends on how mouthy he wants to get. Fine, keep it.
I was a redhead for a time.
And be sure to check out the debut episode of Part of Your Broadway World. Speaking of Gaston, even though they're not talking about Beauty and the Beast or Gaston in their first episode, but they will, mark my words. So support their show as well. Subscribe to that one too. Check out, if you're a wrestling fan, the Down the Middle podcast as well. My podcast, the Arte podcast. You should start another one, because with all that free time you don't have. And buy candles from Stevie Wicks. Light them when you watch our podcast.
And we need to get it back in the description, but our Teespring store.
Oh, yeah, that too. Although I think we'll be changing that before too long. But you can still get them on Teespring.
Yeah, we might end up doing our own shirts.
I think we will and should.
We're going to get there.
We will.
But, everybody, have a good night. Thanks
Here
for hanging
comes
out.
the Spider-Man.
I'm not even going to press the button over there.
Oh, you're not? You're
Gonna
going to
do
hit
this
it there.
way.